For the 2009 season, I think we were pretty excited because the previous year, in 2008, we had gone into the second round of the playoffs, lost the last second game to Walsh Jesuit, and we had a significant number of players returning that would be seniors. I think that senior class had about 24 or 25 seniors, which is probably one of the largest senior groups we've had. And they had been successful all throughout middle school. They were undefeated as freshmen in high school. Many of them played beginning their sophomore and junior year. So it was an outstanding senior class. I think we just felt like good things were ahead on the horizon, and we were excited to get into the season. You know, with each win, they were a very, very close group. That's the thing I liked about them. You know, the seniors, the juniors, and even the sophomores. They were a very close group, and as they were going through the CVC undefeated, very excited about getting into the playoffs and then what that would hold. And that year, everything was a first. It was the first time, you know, that since I had been here, that we went 10-0. It was the first time that we had advanced past a couple of rounds of in the playoffs. First time that we won a regional championship, and then obviously first time we went to a state championship game. So there were a lot of firsts with that team, and with that became just not only excitement amongst the team, but certainly in the school and in the community as well. Because everything was so new, I truly remember just thinking 1 week at a time. Never really planned ahead. You know, this was uncharted territory for us, so each week we just planned for you know, that opponent. It was interesting, if I remember correctly, we played on Saturdays during the playoffs. So, you know, it was great. Monday was just a chance for us to watch film, for the players to rest up their bodies and, you know, to start to game plan for the next week. So we got into a really good routine, and when you think about it, that's 5 more weeks than the 10-week season. So, you know, you're playing like a season and a half. You know, it was great. The camaraderie was really, really strong. Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, we had to recover an onside kick during the regular season game. We had to recover an onside kick to end the game there. So, and they had done extremely well the rest of the year. They won their first 2 playoff games by a sizable amount, and so when we played them, there was I think a lot of anticipation. We knew we had to play a clean game, and it was just a blowout from the beginning. I mean, it was probably the best game we played that whole season. I mean, we scored, I don't know, well over 50-some points and held them down. If I remember, they had a great running back, real good quarterback, and we held those guys down. Much of what he got was late in the game after it had already been decided. That regional championship game was at Twinsburg, and so that was really, really exciting. But it was a tribute to our players and our coaches to take what we learned during the year and then transfer it over to a regional championship game. So we had some, you know, really great players. Obviously, Chris Trinetti was our quarterback. He was first-team All-Ohio quarterback. We had Chris Gorman was a first-team All-Ohio running back. Miss Powers, our AP Social Studies teacher, her brother David was a linebacker for us. He was outstanding. We had a defensive end, Connor Clegg, who was, and a defensive end / tight end. We had a linebacker, Bobby Winkleman, who was all Ohio. He was truly outstanding as well. In the secondary, we had Andrew Vento. We had John Storsley. We had our offensive line, I thought, was really, really strong as well. Mark Geraci was one of our running backs, Spencer Dietrich, Pat Nadeau. We had a lot of guys that really contributed that year, and that was really important. Yeah, so we always say when you practice in the playoffs, usually it's dark outside, or it either, you know, becomes dark during practice. And so when you're practicing with the lights on, good things are happening because you're in the playoffs. And I think that change and that added, you know, idea of practicing in November. I remember practicing on Thanksgiving morning, which was really exciting for the team, knowing that if we're still practicing on Thanksgiving morning, we're doing great things. We're playing a big game. that was a lot of fun, you know, practicing in the morning and then enjoying the holiday and the rest of the day, knowing that we were getting ready for, you know, I think that was the state semifinal weekend. And that was really exciting because since it was a holiday weekend, a lot of our ex-players and college graduates had come back for the holiday and came out and followed us. We played out in Fremont, Ohio. We played our state semifinal game against Ottawa Glandorf out there, and it was so exciting to see past graduates, players, you know, come back from college or even, you know, World of Work and support us at that game. Yeah, it was a very close game, nip and tuck. We played a very physical team. I remember very specifically on, I believe the score was tied. Fourth quarter, we had that, you know, that drive you always dream about, you know, the last drive of the game, and our quarterback, Chris Trinetti, who was so much a part of our team, hurt his ankle on a play and was down, and it looked really bad. Our substitute, Timmy Porter, came in, got a first down. The very next play, Chris came back in and ran the ball all the way down inside the 10-yard line. I think Bobby Winkleman scored the go-ahead touchdown, but our extra point was blocked, and so we were only up by 6, and we had to kick off to them. And so that was nerve-wracking as can be. And I remember our defense holding them off. I think there was a turnover on downs or an interception in the end zone, and it was just a huge celebration. It was probably one of the most exciting bus trips. I mean, a long bus trip back from Fremont, but it was probably one of the most exciting bus trips that I can remember. I mean, you played 15 games, so what that meant is for all of the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen who were part of that program, that gave them 5 extra weeks of practice. It gave them an opportunity to be in big-time games, and so they were used to playing. You know, we went to the state championship game the very next year, and then the state semifinals the following year. So I really think the combination of that extra time of practice, in addition to playing the very best in the state, prepared our guys. It made us realize what you have to do in the off season to be great, and what you have to do during the season to be great. So it was fantastic. So much fun. I'd like to do it again. For us, it was very exciting. It was just go back to, you know, making sure on the field we do everything that we need to do. But I remember specifically we played the first game in the morning, which was the 11 o'clock game. And so it was down in Canton at the Hall of Fame Stadium. And so, you know, we had a pregame breakfast, which was at like 7 in the morning. We got on the bus at like 8 o'clock, and all of the streets of East Washington were lined with students and parents and fans, you know, celebrating and sending us off. And we had a police escort out of town. So those are great memories.